Hi. While I'm waiting for the the re-elected government to release its budget, I thought I would start looking at the previous budget that was released before the election. The previous budget had a photo of a highway as the first cover photo, uh, which environmental groups have pointed out as problematic. There's more mentions of highway than climate change, I believe it was. Um, so there's five mentions of climate that I found, and 151 mentions of highway. And I found 20 mentions of environment, some of which is tied to the economic environment, so they're not really talking about um, the environment. So they talk about manufacturing jobs that have left in the um, introduction. Um, Gridlock. Oh, they they talk about underspending and underinvestment in the healthcare system, and being unprepared for COVID 19. I would make the case that um, the full government has made cuts and to the healthcare, and was also unprepared for COVID 19. They had 2 years prior to the pandemic. So that's a bad faith argument, in my opinion, and the Auditor General has a report on that. So yeah, they have a title called "Rebuilding Ontario's Economy." They talk about the past government. Um, uh, they talk about the past government a lot. They talk about the Ring of Fire, um, bringing prosperity to First Nations um, and other communities. I believe that they need to do so with free, prior, and informed consent from Indigenous nations, and those nations have to be traditional nations have to be included in that. The government talked about electric vehicles, which the government delayed action on over the past 4 years. So it's kind of um, what's the word? Disingenuous, I guess. Okay, and they say that $4 billion is going to be. They're spending $4 billion to bring high-speed internet to 2020 by 2025. Uh, Hopefully that is reached. That's been a promise for a while. Um, They said that they rose the minimum wage. The minimum wage would be higher under a different government. They did freeze the minimum wage increases for a couple of years. So I'm on page 7, and they haven't really talked about environmental issues. The next section is building highways and key infrastructure. Highways was brought up in the election, and they were problematic because they would go through the Greenbelt, the 413, and the Bradford bypass, as well as home endangered species. Go over wetlands. There was a huge dispute about how much the time will be saved. There was a study that says 30 seconds, and the government is saying 30 minutes. Okay, yeah, so there's the Ford government is saying that they're cutting the gas tax for 6 months. That's problematic because they'll subsidizing fossil fuel use and increasing dependence on suburban sprawl, and that's not economical either because they're delaying investments in electric vehicles, which are cheaper. So, yeah, I think I'll make a separate video to continue on the talking about the budget, and then when it's released, I will talk about how, if anything has changed, any improvements to the environment, and we can compare.